It's Championship playoff time. Here is my take on who's going to be getting to Wembley for the richest game in football. Semi-final 1 sees third place Luton up against 6th place Sunderland. Semi-final 2 has 4th place Middlesbrough versus 5th placed Coventry. During the regular season, the top 2 were away and gone a long time ago, but more importantly for this conversation, there was also a bit of a quality gap between the top 4 and the rest. The final points totals illustrate that, and it wasn't too long ago we were talking about 5th all the way down to 12th being separated by very, very few points. What that means is that we have Luton and Borough entrenched in the top 6 for the longest time, and Coventry and Sunderland timing their runs to come first and second in that scramble towards the end of the season. If the regular season is a key predictor this year, then even more than usual we would have 2 strong favourites. That's not me saying it will be, because this is knockout football now. Let's get into Luton versus Sunderland first then. Brilliant season for Luton. 80 points, third place. 80 points is a 10-year low for third, but third is third, for goodness sake. Add that 80 to 75 last season, and you can see this is a very good Luton side for a very long time. Consistency is the watchword, as they lost Naismith, Bree, talismanic manager Nathan Jones, and still improved. Rob Edwards has slipped in seamlessly into the dugout. Amari Bell across into the back 3. Cody Drammer in down the right. Add in Horvath, Doughty, Morris, and we're probably actually in net gain territory here. While 3 of the much wealthier parachute teams all floundered, fired their managers and failed to get into the playoffs, Luton just kept on going in the same direction, and to finish above Borough and be the best of the rest is just tremendous. Luton's opponents, Sunderland, are a real playoff outlier for so many reasons. That could make them a soft touch or a hugely dangerous wild card. Sunderland were in League One last season. Not many teams jumped straight up and into the playoffs the following year after promotion. Their manager walked out at the start of the season, Alex Neil, replaced by Tony Mowbray. Their excellent front 2, Sims and Stewart, has either been injured or back at their parent club. They're way better away from home than they are at home, and nobody in the past 10 years has qualified with fewer points than Sunderland's total this season of 69. What we have here then is a strong favourite versus a wild card. Championship playoff history does have a win for Sunderland, but it is by default due to Swindon's financial misdemeanours in the early 90s. Other than that, the Black Cats are more famous for losing in the playoffs, including in probably the greatest playoff final of all time. They did, of course, though, win the League One playoff competition last year. Luton were in at championship level in the playoffs for the first time last season. They were in 6th then and lost to Huddersfield. We know they've improved since then, but have they learned? Now, of course, if you watch my channel, you will know that the idea that the playoffs are a lottery is just complete rubbish, and the 3rd versus 6th semi-final is dominated by the 3rd place team. 10 wins in the last 12, 83% win rate. It's been 2 1-1 draws this season between Sunderland and Luton. Given Sunderland's home form, I can see the first leg here being much of a muchness and everything being decided down at the Kenny. That will then likely either be one of those sweeping, counter-attacking Sunderland away wins, or more likely Luton, so hard to beat, handling their business and getting themselves to Wembley. In the other semi, it is 4th place Borough versus 5th place Coventry, featuring 2 sides who've gone a very roundabout route to the playoffs this season. Borough started with Chris Wilder in charge, struggled very badly, put Michael Carrick in with the side actually in the bottom 4, promptly zoomed right up the table. It did actually look for a while like they might challenge Sheffield United for 2nd place, but the Blades held them off in the end. Bit of a slip over the line for Borough, and 3rd place turned to 4th as Luton finished strongly and moved past them in the final month. The Borough style under Carrick has been that of really an attacking tour de force. Slick, highly vertical attacking with Akpom, Archer, Ramsey, McGree, Force. under Carrick, they are comfortably the top scorers in the Championship. Borough will be facing Coventry, who started the season in absolutely farcical fashion with a damaged pitch, meaning postponements, multiple away games, and basically they were in pre-season mode way longer than everybody else. Vitally though, three big names, Hamer, O'Hare, Gyökeres, were all retained, and the Sky Blues for the 5th season in a row finished higher than they did in the previous season. You know where you end up if you keep on doing that. The 4th versus 5th semi is historically a lot tighter than 3rd versus 6th. It's almost like this system works and isn't a lottery at all. Of the last 21, it's 11 wins to 4th and 10 wins to 5th. So we're virtually 50-50. I will restate my position that there was a gap in quality between the top 4 and the rest. Coventry weren't up there for long, but hey, maybe we could put most of that down to their problems during the first month of the season. In terms of history, we do have a second-tier playoff win for Borough, but that was in the old format way back in the 80s. Not so great in recent times, losing in the final in 2015 and in the semis in 2018. Coventry have never been in the Championship playoffs, but did win the League Two competition in 2018 to kick off this run of consistent improvement. The Sky Blues do have the edge this season in the 2 league games, but in truth, not sure how good a barometer they are, with the first one being Chris Wilder's last hurrah before he got sacked. And the second was last week, and perhaps Borough were in preservation of tactics and fitness mode. I absolutely love this matchup, and we have 2 of the best attackers in the league in Akpom and Gyökeres going head to head. If it was a league game, you'd expect plenty of goals and attacking, but knockout football just does not work that way, does it? I think Coventry will most definitely hold their own or even better at the CBS, but I just wonder whether one of those sweeping attacking performances at the Riverside will do the job for Borough. Let me know your thoughts on 2 mouth-watering Championship playoff semi-finals down there in the comments. I love to chat, but I'm using my eyes, my head, and the data. If you're only using your heart, we may be at cross purposes here. I am fully intending to be at the home games for Coventry and for Luton. Sorry, you northern lot. It's a long way up there. I will try my best though, and we will see. If you do see me at either of those games, do stop and say hello and let me know your take. And the Championship is not the only place we have playoff action this weekend, and not the only playoff action covered, indeed, on this channel. Click up here to see my take on League One. Sheffield Wednesday versus Peterborough, Barnsley versus Bolton. There is a Championship team for next season in those 4. Who is it going to be?